Payday 3 beta has been out since August 2nd, and over the course of 3 days over 100,000 people got in. While it is only a technical test of the servers, we still got a lot of content on our hands, and majority of it will probably ship into the main game. Even though there was a lot of missing content and we only got to play one heist with level 22 limit, the game still was pretty fun to play and explore. This beta told us a lot about what's coming to release version of the game, so after playing the beta for around 12 hours, I decided to make this video and put all my thoughts into it. Let's start with the gameplay. I never expected to actually feel so refreshed by a Payday game. The movement feels extremely nice. Vaulting mechanics are something I didn't expect to want in a Payday game. But it feels so nice to vault fences or get inside through windows. Sliding is a mechanic which didn't look that useful at the first glance, but having used it in both loud and stealth, I can say it's something you will definitely enjoy using for your own advantage. Having smaller hitbox while moving from cover to cover is really useful, and I like the way it was implemented. Overall, the game brings the usual Payday experience, but shaking it up just enough so it feels unique. I absolutely love how everyone has their own thing to do. Do objective, manage hostages, clear the map of cops, secondary objective, save lock picking, and that adds so much more depth to the game, instead of just staring at the stupid thermal drill for 5 minutes straight. Objectives themselves don't feel like I'm just shooting cops while waiting for something to happen. Hostage management is an awesome mechanic, which is really good after the previous parts, where hostages were only needed to trade someone out of custody, otherwise you would shoot them. Specials, despite very similar to the ones we had in the previous Payday games, feel like they have way more unique stuff to them. I can see how developers try to add more strengths and weaknesses to each special, and I really appreciate the effort they put into it. The addition of Grenadier is great. The way gas works makes Grenadier a very scary unit to keep alive for long. Dozer being a much more dangerous unit, but being prone to overextend and taunt in the battlefield keeps the Dozer from being just a walking bullet sponge with big gun. The Zapper, which was previously known as Taser, was absolutely useless in the beta, constantly walking around with the Taser instead of actually using its weapon and dying pretty quickly, because he takes so much time to actually do anything. I hope that is fixed by the time release version comes out. The way cloakers work is much more fair in my opinion. It doesn't punish you for not being able to out-DPS a cloaker. Rather, Cloaker punishes you for staying far away from your team by downing and cuffing you after some time passes. I wish it was more difficult to find the FPI in Tenaman, as currently I think it is too easy to find and break it, but we'll have to see how they manage it as more heists get released. No turrets, no medics, no bad additions in terms of specials. Absolutely great. The armor mechanic feels really weird, and in my opinion it's just a second health bar that can partially regen. That makes armor bag practically the best deployable the game can offer, because any other deployable just doesn't provide you as much value as restoring health you can regenerate. Even if partially, it's still huge. I think it needs massive changes if they want to make other deployables as good as armor bag. Stealth is more interesting in this game, and will not fail the second you get spotted by something. This made me enjoy stealth again, as it was most interesting to sneak around and try the new mechanics. Stealth actually gets more difficult the higher difficulty is, which is yet another welcome change. I just wish pubs weren't trying to fool the stealth too much, as I found some lobbies which refuse to go loud and restart the second stealth ends. Gunplay is awesome. You can finally optimize a weapon for what you like doing the most. Keep firing, control the recoil, sniping, or just looking good, instead of concealing it or getting all the benefits I mentioned before to their full potential for free if you aren't going for concealment. Weapons feel great to shoot, control, and just overall look nice. Sadly, we didn't get any LMGs or sniper rifles, but from the looks of it, they will feel just as good as other weapons do. What I wish was implemented is so we could see the actual stats of a weapon, instead of those bars which barely tell us anything about how the weapon actually works. The only overkill weapon available in the beta was Grenade Launcher Mamba. You might know it as a piglet from Payday 2, which somehow kills you better than enemies. The grenades deal massive friendly damage from an absurd distance, but only kill enemies with a direct impact. I was hoping we would see the sniper rifle in the beta, but sadly that wasn't available. Skill system was massively overhauled, just as expected. You can pick any tier 1 skill and any last tier skill when you want to, but to get skills in the middle you would need to have tier 1 skill. All mechanics that provided temporary benefit are now tied to edge, grit or rush. While it feels weird at first, I think this change allows players to know when they are actually getting benefits and what benefits they are actually getting from skills during the heist, using the new buff tracker that was put into the game. It might be a very controversial change, but even in the beta the system feels very polished. All it needs is some balancing and a different look. Just please, don't make me scroll through so much rows of skills, please! The game will be online only and will feature the newer anti-tampering system. Is that really a bad thing? Yes. It's too bad it just crosses people with bad internet out of the list. Please Starbreeze. I just want offline only mode so I can play on my ISP dies. It has been proven before that the newer decreases FPS and ruins the loading times, but judging by the beta build, loading times were really good, even though my game was on hard drive and not an SSD. Can't say anything about FPS though, as it looks like beta graphics settings don't properly work. They don't actually scale textures down from high quality, which is, again, a beta issue. Game will now run on dedicated servers, which was the scariest thing for me. What if I take fall damage when I'm not supposed to? What if I get hit by something that I can't see? Or if my shots just won't register? But from my experience, I didn't have any of the issues I mentioned. The game does run smoothly for all players. It seems like there is no rubber banding, massive desync issues, or massive delays. When it comes to soundtrack, we got another Gustavo banger, which you're hearing right now. It sounds like a mix of Bullet Rain from Brooklyn and 10 Heist DLC and Trailblazers from Midland Ranch Heist DLC. But it still feels very unique. While I can't put a lot on this section, I just want to say that Gustavo never failed to deliver soundtrack ever since Dirt and Dust back in Border Crossing DLC. Thank you Gustavo for keeping Payday franchise soundtrack just as good as it was during Simon Wicklund era. Before I finish this video, I want to point out that I never got into the closed beta. The footage you're seeing right now was recorded on an old account. I think the game should have an open beta instead of a bullshit Steam playtest system is. At least I'm lucky to have this account with beta access. I pre-ordered Gold Edition back on June 12th when the gameplay trailer dropped, just because I made a promise to order the highest priced edition of Payday 3 when it drops very long time ago. At first I was thinking I will regret this decision, looking at how Payday 2 was completely ruined. But right now, I feel like Payday 3 will have a different future and might turn out to be a good game. Expect me to stream and upload videos related to the game in the future when it comes out in September. Thanks for watching.